It all started in the sky. Papa Liang was an Air Force pilot, and he and his wife, also well known as Liang Mama or Mama Liang, and their 4 children lived in a military village in Pingtung, Taiwan. They worked and broke bread with people from all over China who, like them, fled to Taiwan and brought with them original cooking flair specific to their home province. These culinary styles began to meld together, and it was there where Mama Liang learned the unique cuisine we serve today at our restaurant, and is the inspiration of our frozen line as well. Mama Liang opened her first restaurant in 1981 in the heart of San Gabriel Valley, California, with her children and their spouses supporting her. In 1995, she retired, but not before leaving a mark on Taiwanese cuisine. In an effort to keep this one-of-a-kind cuisine alive, she taught her kids and grandchildren everything she had learned.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I am part of the Mama Liang's and Liang's Village team. The Liang's Village history started in the early 80s. We're one of the few Taiwanese restaurants in San Gabriel Valley. I mean, nowadays things have changed a lot, and it's really, really nice to see how, the Taiwanese food scene has grown in the US overall. So Liang's Village is our restaurant name, while Mama Liang's is actually our frozen food brand. But the idea of the frozen food brand is so that it's easier for us to prepare something that's authentic and comforting and delicious in a very convenient way at home. And these are all recipes that came from my grandmother. She actually did cook with the wives of other military families that flee to Taiwan during the Chinese Civil War. So the Taiwanese military villages is actually a place where a lot of military families come together, and it's actually families from different provinces in China. These recipes are recipes that are developed in the villages, right? And the purpose of it is to please all the different palates from people from different regions of China. Like beef noodle soup. Beef noodle soup actually started as like Sichuan style, and the Taiwanese style is actually a less spicier version. I think beef overall in general was not even common in Taiwan until these military families got together. Here you'll find the national dish of Taiwan. It's called Hong Sao Niu Rou Mian, Taiwanese beef noodles. And I will show you how you can make this within 10 minutes from our frozen food package. So this is our beef noodle package, and in here, this is all the contents in the beef noodle package. In here you'll find our fresh noodles, pickled mustard greens, and also a packet of broth, and also with our meat inside. So once you take the soup out of the freezer, it's actually pretty frozen. So any of you want to eat it right away, you actually have to thaw the soup a little bit, just so that it's easier to get it out of the bag. But if you're more patient and you can actually wait a couple of hours, we would recommend you to thaw it, and it's just easier to boil overall. You might notice some of these white things in the soup package, and it's actually intentional. We believe that having some beef fat in the soup actually adds a lot of flavor, so we actually intentionally pack it into the soup package. So we're about to boil our noodles, and one thing I recommend is to use actually a big pot with lots of water, because when you boil noodles, it also releases a lot of starch. So it's just easier to boil noodles quickly with a big pot. So these are frozen noodles. Put it in here. So you want to cook this for about 3 minutes if you like your noodles al dente, and 4 minutes if you like your noodles a little softer. Here. So while your noodle is boiling, you can also heat up your soup packet. And now it's the waiting game. Noodles are ready. So I'm currently straining the noodles so it doesn't dilute my soup. I think I have a more Chinese taste bud, so I do like my noodles a little bit softer. So this beef is super tender. Can you tell from looking at it over here? Very, very tender. I also want to top it with our pickled green mustards. It's actually one of my favorite side dishes at the shop as well. And it isn't just pickled green mustard, it's actually, we added some flavor to it ourselves. So at the restaurant, we tend to top our beef noodle with scallions and also cilantro and some cooked vegetables. Because sometimes, it's nice to have some vegetables to balance out the meat. Oh, and one of my favorite ways to eat beef noodle is I actually really do like spicy food as well. So I like to add our extra spicy chili oil to our dishes as well. I think it adds a very good kick. So with our frozen food package, you can actually get an authentic tasting beef noodle soup within 10 minutes. So the flavor you get from this bowl, it's very savory, very complex from all the spices. And my favorite thing about it is there's actually a slightly sweet finish from the tomatoes that we use, and also from the carrots that we added as well over here. So this beef is super tender, very tender and very flavorful. And the chili oil actually adds a spicy flavor to it too. So it's really nice. This is our house-made chili oil. The reason why we decided to make this is because we found, as like spicy food lovers ourselves, it's really, really hard for us to find spicy chili oil in the market. We actually source our chili peppers from Thailand, and it gives a really, really good kick. So over here, you'll find our Hongyeo Chaoso. This is our red oil Karubata pork wonton dish. This is actually our #2 product that we decided to add to our frozen menu. And the reason why we added it is because #1, it's a very popular dish in our restaurant. 2, a lot of people really, really like it, but don't know how to make it. Now over here, you'll find our mala luzu'er over here, which means it's mala plus stewed pig ears that has been sliced very thinly and also chilled. Mala is a term for spicy and numbing. The numbing sensation that you get is actually very surprising to new people who've never had mala before, and it's actually quite delightful. Our third dish over here is our stewed beef shank. It's also a main ingredient in our beef wrap, actually. You can get it as a frozen dish as well. Beef wraps with scallion pancakes is, I would say, more American than Taiwan. Beef wraps in Taiwan in general is not that popular in comparison to the US. In the US, it's something that's very, very popular and you can find in a lot of Taiwanese restaurants. I definitely want to see more people getting to know what Taiwanese food actually is. People tend to confuse Thailand with Taiwan and also the food as well. And the food is just very, very different. They're completely different cultures. In the near future, we're actually looking to add more items to our frozen line. I would like to see more Taiwanese breakfast items. Although we've seen a lot of restaurants doing that, we would like to be part of that as well at some point. A lot of these things are things that you can find in our restaurants already, but you know, having it in the frozen line, it's just easier for you to prepare at home at your own convenience.
As Mama Liang's grandchildren, our continued vision is to bring our grandparents and parents authentic flavors of traditional Taiwanese comfort foods into harmony through quality ingredients, cultural awareness, and comfort. There are various ways to get your hands on our Taiwanese comfort food. You can stop by our shop in Cupertino, California, or you can find us available on other avenues in the Bay Area. And if you live somewhere that would require long distance traveling, we also got you covered. Our frozen line would be perfect for you.